This tutorial is presented here by me with permission from the author. Hello guys, welcome to another video, and today I'm gonna show you how to collapse the chest part of the Zoanoid Dragon V2. So by the end of the video you should have something that looks like this. Okay, so the chest that I did here is slightly different than the one I did on mine, as you can see, but I'm gonna be showing this one, and I don't think it really makes any difference. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so this time we're not gonna use a square. I am using a 2 by 1 rectangle. Okay, so approximately 40 centimeters by 20, and we're gonna be dividing. So we're gonna be using this crease pattern here, which is just, again, it is just a section cut out from the official crease pattern. It's like a rectangle, like here, okay, in the middle. And so yeah, you can find this on the description. So I'm using tracing paper, which is like the same paper that I used on the previous tutorials. Like so the grid is gonna be a bit small, so I would recommend, if you have an option, to go a bit bigger, like 50 centimeters, or I mean, this is just a test fold, so it's not really that important. Just to let you know that the scales will be kind of small. But yeah, let's get started. So we need to divide a grid, and we need to do it so 48 units on this direction and then 24 here. So I know the grid is different, but that's because this is a 2 by 1. So the squares of the grid will be the same size if we divide here in 48 and then here in 24. Okay, so we need to divide the paper in thirds in each direction, and the first thing we're going to do is fold in half here along the bigger dimension. Okay, and so basically now you have 2 squares, right? So what you can do now to divide in 3 parts, so it's basically divide this square in 3 firsts, and for that we need 1 diagonal. You don't need to crease this really hard, okay, just a little bit, because this is again not part of the crease pattern, so I'm not gonna crease this super hard. And then you can divide, so you can make a pinch here on the 1/4, okay, so bring this edge to the middle, that, and make a pinch here on the top, and then you're just gonna make a fold, like a crease like that, and you just need to, we're only interested in the intersection with the diagonal, okay? And so let me hold it this way. So I'm just gonna pinch here, and then I'm gonna swivel the paper until I hit the corner. Like that, and I'm just gonna pinch here on the intersection. Okay, so now you can fold this up and making a crease passing through that intersection. Like that. And now you can fold this, the middle line here, you can fold it to the crease you just did, okay? So, like that. Crease. And then you can also fold this edge here to this one. And the creases here should align, okay? Okay, and you can unfold everything, and now you can just fold this edge to this crease. Okay, so we have divided the paper in 6 parts along this direction. Now to get it on this direction, so you just need to again to fold this edge here down and making a crease that passes through this intersection here. And let me hold it on the other side actually. And you can also align the crease by aligning these vertical lines here with each other, okay? That way you can be more precise. Okay, fold, and now just fold this edge to the crease you just did. Unfold. Okay, so now we have a 6x3, and yeah, as you can see, like we have divided in 6 here but only 3 here, but the squares are actually squares. Okay, so that's why we need to divide first. We need to divide in 48 by 24. So to get to 48, you just divide each of these into 8 parts, and these ones to get to 24 actually, so basically you need to divide 8 parts on each. Okay, so you need to divide this in 8, like these lines here in 8, this one's in 8, and also these ones. Okay, so I'm just gonna do one more so you know. So I'm just gonna do this one first. Actually, let me do it on this direction first. The reason why I'm doing on this direction first, because if I did it on the other one, it would be harder to make these ones later, because the paper would be more prone to warp. I don't know if it's warp what I mean, but you know what happens, like the paper tends to close a little bit when you fold the grid, especially when you have like a grid with many units. Yeah, that's, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, let's now do on this direction. Okay, so we have now a 12 by 6 grid, and I'm just gonna do a time jump, and yeah, grid done. As you can see, 48 by 24. So yeah, like you can see that the grid units are quite small, and the problem is it will get smaller because we'll have to do scales. But yeah, let's now start pre-creasing. I can zoom a little bit. So now, yes, I recommend you have this in front of you, either paper or on your screen, and we're gonna start pre-creasing. And let's start here from the bottom part. So, by the way, to localize this, so this right here is going to be the last part of the tail, so the tail goes all the way down, and this is the chest, and this one is the neck, okay? So yeah, so hold the paper like this, and we can start pre-creasing, and let's start pre-creasing here the scales. And the first thing we're going to do is these transition units here. Okay, so to find the reference, you can either start from this edge and count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then on the 5th line you go the diamond shapes, or you could either go from the center like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the 7th. Okay, so makes sense. I'm just gonna zoom a little bit, and I'm gonna start here on the bottom. And yeah, so the first one is here on the first horizontal line, and again on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It starts on the 5, so I'm just gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then you just do 1 unit, like the square here that you're probably used to by now. So since like I'm assuming that you watched the previous parts, and I'm saying that because maybe I won't go in so much detail here with the scales, because like I've talked about scales on the previous 2 parts, on the arm and on the legs. So yeah, the reason for that is because this part is probably gonna be the longest, because there's a lot more to collapse on this part. Okay, so that's why I'll try to save time where I can. So yeah, so we have 1 unit here, so we need to do 2 more. And each of them is separated by 1. Okay, so just move 1 unit and make the other one, and the other one as well. But yeah, I'll try. I'll still show you how to collapse the scales, obviously, but I'll try to give like a brief explanation instead of a more in-depth explanation. Okay, 1 more. Okay, great. Let me mark them with a pencil. I will later go through all the coloring like I did with the arm, so it's easier to collapse. But for now I'll just mark it with a pencil, okay? Like that. So do the same thing here on this side. I'm just gonna do that faster. It's exactly the same, it's symmetrical. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Let me mark them. I'm just gonna mark them. Not very accurately, but that doesn't really matter for now. And now we're going to make like the grid here. We're going to set up the grid to make the scales. So what you need to do is, like, for each square here, you're just going to divide, like for each diamond, you're just going to divide the ones that belong to it in half. Okay, so you're going to divide this in half, then you skip one and divide this one, skip one, divide this one and this one. Okay, so let's just do that. Yeah, as you can see, this grid is gonna be quite small. But it's manageable. I did a test full before I did this tutorial, and I still managed to do this, so okay, almost. Okay, nice. Now we need to make some that go perpendicular to these ones, and the ones that we need to do are so we need to do these ones here. That will help a lot. These ones here that are right next to the middle line. So we have the middle line, which is let me see, yeah, this one. Just crease it. And now you're just gonna divide, like, the lines, the grid lines that are right next to it. You're just gonna divide in half. Okay, so you're just gonna divide this one in half, and you can fold this all the way to the top. Okay, because that will be needed. So yeah, so basically just grab here this line, which is the one right next to the middle, and just bring it to the middle line. And yeah, fold all the way. Okay, do the same thing for this one. Okay, unfold. And we also need these ones here. Okay, so this one here and this one, and which are, so if you count here from the middle, you have the middle here. Actually make a line. So we have the middle here. You're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's right below the fourth one. Okay, so I'm just gonna count from the middle, which is, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm just gonna fold the fourth one inside. And you only need to crease like till where the diamond shapes, the transition units go. Okay, so pretty much like here should be enough. Okay. And do the same thing on this one, the top one. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I do this right here? Yeah, I think I did. 1, so confused. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I did it wrong. I did on the wrong one. That's what I thought. So actually on the so in comparison to the diamond shapes, so you have the diamond shape ends here, and then you go one, and then you divide the next one. Okay, I divided the wrong one. But yeah, nonetheless, to help me now we're going to shape gonna pre-crease the scales here, and I'm just gonna mark those lines here because they will help me a lot, and you'll see why. So we have this one and this one, and also here on the middle we have this one and this one. Okay, so although they are not part of the crease pattern, they will help me in the way that I know where the scales or the scales are going to end. Okay, so I know that they start on this line and they end on this one, so it's a lot easier for me. So the way we're going to pre-crease this, so it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So you're gonna go like from every line here. So usually on the other tutorials I did the difference between valleys and mountains, but here I'm just gonna do all mountains because that's a lot faster, and well, for me it's a bit faster to, like, maybe the quality won't be best. If you have time, maybe do difference between valley and mountain, but for me it doesn't really matter right now, so I'm just gonna do all mountains. So yeah, so you're just gonna grab here and just gonna do 45-degree line, 45-degree line, 45-degree line, 45, all the way. And I'm just gonna show you on this side, then I'll do here. And the difference here on this, okay, so as I was saying, from this point right here, you just make a line going 3 units, 3 units down. So yeah, as you can see, like, this first line won't end in a grid point. That's because we could use some lines here as well. So yeah, we could use a line here to determine where does this line end. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a small mark here. You don't have to do it. I'm just gonna fold this edge like that. Let me zoom a little bit more actually. Okay, so now from this you just go and do all the way here. Okay, like that, and then you just go down to this point. Okay, like this, and then from here you just go one to the right and do the same thing. Okay, so again, fold like that. Let me just crease this line a little bit better because I can see it well. Okay. Sorry if you're hearing noises in the background. Okay, so we have these two now. So now you're gonna skip 1 unit. Okay, so you're gonna skip this one and do on the next one and just do it the same way. Okay, so as you can see, we just did these 2 lines here. Now we need to do these 2, which are the same. So yeah, let's do that. So once again, you skip 1. Okay, just like that. And now for the next one, so we still have to do 1 2 3 4. For the next one, you just go all the way here. Okay, so you go from this line here to this one. Okay, so let me do one for example. So again, you're gonna skip one, and I'm just gonna do this line. Okay, like that. Then do the next one as well. Okay, that wasn't very accurate. Let me do it a bit better. Okay, and then you can, so we did on this direction, let's not do it here. So you can start like here where you first started, you can just do a line like that. Okay, so these are all 45-degree lines. Okay, then you just keep on doing this until you have something that looks like this. Okay, I'm not going to show you everything. So you do this, and then you do the exact same thing here on the bottom. Okay, so yeah, let me just do one more, and then I'll just skip the rest. Okay, so again, you skip now 1 unit and you start here. Okay, then you go on this direction. Okay, like so, and just keep on going until you reach the end, and then do the same thing here. Okay, so once you're done, you should have something like this. It's kind of hard to see, but I will do the same as I did with the previous tutorial. I will later, when everything is pre-creased, I will just go over with the red and blue pen. Okay, so we can move on. So we just pre-creased this part. Now let's do this part here, and let's see here. So basically you have this line here, okay, which is like, it's not exactly where this ends, but it's half a unit below. So it's this one right here. Okay, so in case you want to count, it's the 9th line here from the bottom. Okay, so from the bottom it's the 9th line. Okay, so I'm just gonna mark this. So this line is this one, and then you can see that this square here, this bigger one, starts 1 unit above, and like where in this line here, so the line where all the diamonds here start, then 1 unit above. Okay, so here I have all the diamonds here. Okay, so this is the line, then this one, and then I go 1 above, and then they start here. Okay, so from this point I'm just gonna draw this big one. So this is 2 units, this is 1. So I'm just gonna draw it first. I'm drawing both of them at the same time. Okay, like that, and I'm just gonna crease them. Okay, do the same thing on the other side. Okay, like this. Okay, and now we can start working on this middle part here. Okay, so let's first do these parts here on the outside, and then it's easier to find references for this one. So first we're gonna find this reference here. By the way, I noticed that I forgot some lines here, like for example these small ones should be valleys as they are here. And also the way I'm gonna pre-crease this part is not 100% sure, as not equal as in the crease pattern. From the crease pattern you can see, you can barely see, like they are, so these two lines here, these two, this one and this one, so here they are parallel, but on the crease pattern they are not. It's barely noticeable, but I know for sure that they are not, because if I draw this on any software, they don't lie flat. So I know this is not like 100% accurate, but it's enough to get to the shape. Okay, so yeah, that's the way I did it. So yeah, let's now find this point here. So we know that from this tip here we're gonna advance half a unit. Okay, so first we need to find that half a unit. So from this point here I'm just gonna divide the next one. Actually, you can just fold this down, all of them, you can fold almost all of the crease all the way. That was hard. That. Okay, and then so from this point right here, which is this one here, I'm gonna go 3 units. Okay, so I'm gonna go this one, I'm gonna go this one and this one until I get here. Okay, so I'm gonna go 3 units, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, perfect. And then from this point I'm just gonna go 2 units up and 1 to the side. Okay, so, and actually no, it's not 2 units, it's 1.5. Sorry. So from here you go 1.5 units. Okay, so basically you go from this point to this one right here. Okay, just like that. Okay, and then from this point you're gonna go half a unit down like that. So but first we need to actually make that line, so I'm gonna grab this here and fold this down. Okay. And now, once again, from this point, I'm gonna go all the way here. Okay, nice. And now you just have to do the symmetrical. So basically now from this point right here, you're gonna go here and then here, okay, making a rectangle. So yeah, like I said, like I'm doing a rectangle here, like a straight, or yeah, like a rectangle instead of just another shape, because I know that on the official crease pattern it's not an actual rectangle, it's something different. But yeah, this should work to get the desired shape. Okay, and then from this rectangle here we need to make two different lines. So we need to make a line connecting these two, the two farthest points. So let's make that first. So this one, just like that. And then we also need to connect, so let me zoom a little bit more. Focus. Hello, maybe that's too much zoom. Okay, so we have, yeah, so we have this line here, right, which is a grid line, and then we have this one here. Okay, so at the intersection of the square, of the rectangle, let me draw it out. So at the intersection, you're just going to join these two together. Okay, so you have this grid line, this one, and you're just going to join these two here. Just like that. Okay, and then you're basically going to do the same thing two more times on this side. So basically you go from this point, you go one and then repeat. Let me show you as well. So from this point you go one, but we only have reference for half, so we need to make let me actually see, yeah, so we need to make a line here. Okay, so basically I'm just gonna fold this up. That. And then yeah, so from this point you go one unit up, and then you're gonna go 1.5. Okay, so this is not 45 degrees, but it's until this point. Okay, so basically the same thing here as we did here. So just crease, and then we also need, now we go like that to this, to the middle point here, but we also need to do that one first. And I'm creasing all the way because these creases are going to be used to shaping or to collapsing the scales here on the middle part. Okay, so then you just make this line, and then you just do the symmetrical. Okay, perfect. Now you just need to make diagonals in quotes. Okay, this one and this one. Okay, perfect. Now you need to do this one more time here. So you need to make this one as well, and just repeat the same thing on this side. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that off camera. Okay, so once you're done, you should have something like this on this side as well. And now we're gonna we're gonna pre-crease these middle scales here. So these are just pretty much the same thing as we did here. Okay, just a little bit bigger, but it's pretty much the same. Okay, so the first thing we need to know is where the scales start and where the scales end. So these ones we already have, it's the same lines as we did here, but these ones we have to do. But it's quite easy to get. So from this point, from this line here, which is the middle of this bigger square, you just fold this, so it's just half a unit here. Okay, so I'm just gonna fold, so I'm gonna grab this line here, which is the middle of the big square, and I'm just gonna fold it down. Okay, and you only need to crease like this amount, like where the last like transition unit ends. Okay, and do the same thing on the other side. Okay, perfect. And I'm also gonna mark them with pencil, so I know, and it's easier for me to actually pre-crease this. Okay, so let me zoom a little bit more. Okay, so I'm holding the paper like this, okay? And the first thing we're going to do is this one. Okay, so this is just, again, 3 smaller units. So and we can see that like it starts from this point, sorry, from this one, the outermost. So it is from this point right here. We're just gonna go like that. So just like this, okay? And then I'm gonna go, then you can see here like this point, from this point you just go all the way down to this, okay? So it let me see, I don't know how many units they are, but let me see. So 1, so it's 4.5 like grid lines, grid units, okay? And I'm doing it wrong. So these are all again 45-degree lines, pretty simple. Okay, like that. Then do the same thing, but starting here. Now here, like, you don't have a reference where to stop this one. You can just eyeball it, but you can also make like a small pinch here. Like, and I'm gonna do like on the other side as well. I mean, I'll do it later. But yeah, like now you can see where this one stops. It stops here, okay? So I'm gonna do that. So it's again 3 smaller units. That, and then go all the way down. Okay. Just like that. And now, so the next ones, so you're gonna go kind of reverse here. So first you're gonna go all the way down here, and then you do the 3. Okay, so, and this should be lined up. So now again, so you now skip one. So last one we did was starting here, yeah. So now you start here, and then you go again 4.5. No, wait, doing this wrong. Sorry, I did this wrong. So we need to do the same thing again. Okay, so we did these 2, and now we need to do this, the other 2 the same way. Okay, so again you do 3 units first, and then you go all the way down. Just redo this one. Okay, there we go. Wait a second. Oh, yeah, that's right. I did it. I started on the wrong spot. That's why. Okay, so yeah, first one, then the next one. Don't know how well you can see, but like it's kind of hard for me to do this because I'm doing like in the air, because I don't think you could be able to see it if I was doing on the table, but yeah, like that. And now, so for the next ones, now you go like first you go the bigger distance, and then you go the smaller. Okay, so from this point, so it's from this point here. Okay, you're just gonna go down, and I believe it's all the way here. Yeah, so they should end in the same line. Okay. Okay. And then from this you just go down 3 units. Okay, just like that. Now do the same thing, like go the next one and do the same thing. Okay, now do these 2 lines here once again, like we did here. I don't know if you can hear my dogs snoring, but if you do, I'm sorry. Can't do anything about it. Okay, one more. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can hear that. You can hear that. Okay, so you should have something like this. So we just did like the first 4, so we did this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, and this one. And now you just need to do the same thing like for the rest. So this part here is the same as this one here. Okay, so it's pretty much the same, and here on this side is also the same. Okay, so again, I'm just gonna do this off camera. Okay, so once you're done, you should have something like this. Okay, so let's move on, let's move up. So basically now let's pre-crease these shapes here. So the reference here is, I guess, this point. So from this point here you just go half a unit up. So we need to actually make these two lines here because they are not grid lines. So that point is here. Okay, so what I just drew was this part here, and I'm just gonna fold this part here. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring this edge, this line here, and I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, and I'm just gonna mark here approximately. I don't need to push all the way. Okay, so we have, so from here you go half a unit up, and then you have this line here which is 2 units wide, so like that, and then here. Okay, and then you have this one which is a diagonal that goes 1 unit to the right and then half a unit up. Okay, so basically this let's do that one first, so one thing at a time. So basically I just go from this point here, and like that, do the same thing on this side. Yes, yeah, that's correct. Okay, and then from these points you're just gonna go and do 2 units up and one to the left. Okay, so basically like this. And do the same thing on this side. Okay, like that, and then we need to make these two which are parallels here, so we need to find this reference which is, so we can easily find it, so we just fold this down and we can just mark here, make a small pinch here. Okay, and then we just fold these two lines here. Okay, like that, and then we just need to like fill out the rest. So we have these two which are just parallels to this one. Okay, and then we have these ones here which are like the diagonals of the square. Okay, like this. So I'm gonna do like these remaining shapes here and then just do the same thing on the other side. So like from this point you go 1 unit to the right and then you have this small square, so that's pretty simple. So again, from here you just go 1 unit to the right and then do the square here. Okay, like that. Then we can also make this square, so from this point just go 1 up and do the square. So from here 1 up and do the square. Okay, and then we need to do this weird shape here. So from the last square that you just did, you go one to the right, and then you just do this. So this is pretty simple. So one, this is 1 unit, 1 1, this is 2, this is 1 1 1 2. Okay, so pretty straightforward. I'm probably noticed this before, but I'm not doing like the orientation of the lines as I'm not practicing with their final orientation, because that would take a lot more time. But yeah, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Okay, so yeah, there we go, like this. So these are like 2 blocks, 2 rectangles here. Okay, so pretty simple. So actually, instead of now doing the same thing on this side, I'm gonna do like these transition units here, and then just do the same thing on the other side again off camera. Sorry for all the cutting, but I have a feeling that the collapsing will be really long, so I'm trying to save time wherever I can. So yeah, so here, so you can see that from this point here, you just go 1 unit, and then you do this diamond. So the diamonds here are exactly the same as we did here. So we're basically, for now, we're just gonna make a square. Okay, so we're gonna make a square here, just like this one or this one. Okay, so from here you go 1 up, so here 1 up, and then you just do the square. Okay, there's 1. You need to do 4.5 more. This last one is only half, but yeah, to get the next one, you just skip 1 unit and do it again. Okay, so let me do that faster. Okay, so if you did everything correctly, you should have 1 2 3 4 5 and a half, okay, which is what we have here, 1 2 3 4 5.5. So yeah, this is the ultimate test to see if you pre-creased everything correctly and if I showed you correctly. So yeah, so now just do this. So this part here and this one on this side, and then all we need to do is pre-crease these scales here, but this is just the same as here. Anyway, I'm just gonna show you, but maybe a bit faster. Yeah, now first do this part here on this side. Okay, so once you've done the same thing on both sides, all we need to do now is pre-crease these upper scales here, and these are just the same as here. Okay, I'm just gonna show you one more time, but yeah. So the first thing we need to do is make like smaller divisions here. So the way you do it, once again, you take like every diamond shape here, so you have every square, one here, one, and you just divide the units that belong to it. You just divide it in half. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab this line here and I'm gonna fold it, and you only need to fold like this one. You only need to fold like at till the diamond shape. Okay, so I'm folding this one, and I need to fold it on this direction as well. Now on to the next one. So this one is a little different, like the other one, the mountain was in the middle, but here the mountain is on the side. This is just depends on how you pre-crease the grid, but if you do it like alternating between mountains and valleys, this is what you should have as well. Okay, so just keep doing this until you reach the end of the paper. Almost there, just 3 more. Okay, nice. So now we can make the scales. Okay, so I'm just gonna hold it on the side, just gonna hold it like this. Okay, and we're gonna do the same thing. So first we're gonna start here. Okay, and we're just gonna make this one and this one. Okay, so I'm just gonna focus on here first, and then you can do the same thing here. Okay, so basically make this one. So you start, oh sorry, you still need to make another one, which is like this line here. Okay, so basically you just fold this mountain down. So it's this one here. Okay, so fold this down. Like so. And once again, I'm gonna mark this line. Okay, and yeah, so now let's do the scales. Let's pre-crease them. So again, make this one first. So start here on this tip and just make a point here. Just make a crease till there. So we don't have any references for it. Check something. Yeah, wherever. So yeah, so it's here. It's on this line here. Okay. So I'm not gonna bother making any references because it's very simple. Okay, like that, and then you join this one here. Sorry, focus. Thank you. Okay, then do that again. Okay, so the first one. Okay, now skip one and start again. So from here. That. Do another one. Okay, and the next one you do is gonna connect this line with this point with this point. Okay, so we did these two, and then these two, and then the next one is just gonna go all the way here, and all of the other ones are just gonna go all the way. Okay, so now you just have to do the same thing for the remaining till you reach the end of the paper, and do the same thing here. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that off camera. And I'm also gonna color every line. Okay, so once I'm done, I'll have this all colored and we can start collapsing. Alright guys, so everything is done. I've colored everything, and let's take a minute to appreciate how good this looks. It looks so satisfying. Like, so we have now here what is here. Okay, so we can start collapsing. Oh yeah, by the way, there were a couple of lines that we did not pre-crease. So namely, like these lines here and on the other parts as well, but they are not really necessary for the collapse, so we'll skip that. Okay, so let me zoom a little bit. So in terms of collapsing, so what we're going to do first is set up all of the scales, all of the transition units, and then we're gonna collapse this part, and then the bottom, and then the top. Okay, so this part is the hardest, I guess, for the chest area. Like this part here is the hardest. So we're gonna do that first. But first we're gonna just make the transition units for every part. Okay, so for the middle, these transition units are a bit different, but these ones here and here are pretty much the same. So yeah, so we'll start with that. So what you're going to do first is, like for every transition unit, you're going to do a mountain fold. So you have this mountain here, and then right next to it it's a valley. So you're just going to do that, this, and do this for all of the transition units. So this one, and this last one here is just a mountain. So okay, so here the transition units are a bit different, but it's the same thing. So we have a mountain here. Okay, so this is a mountain, like so, and then the next one is a valley. Okay, this, Okay, and then do the same thing here for the top. So this is just the same as on the bottom. Okay, and this last one here, just fold it as a valley. Okay, opposed to the bottom one. Okay, so like this. Okay, so it's hard to keep the paper all together now, but it will become easier. And the first thing we are going to do, like I said, is set up all of the transition units. And the first ones we're going to do is, let me see, so okay, let's do these ones first, I guess, or these ones I mean, because these are the same and I'll do it later. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is make a mountain fold here along this line. Okay, you can see it goes all the way, so we can make this a mountain. Make all of the way, you don't need to, but you can. Just like that. And then you're going to make a valley on the next one. Okay, so fold this down basically. Okay, just like that, and do the same thing here on the bottom side. So valley a mountain here, and then valley. Okay, awesome. Something like this, and then we're going to turn around. Okay, so we're going to be looking here at this part. Okay, so this is the bottom part on the other side. And so once again, if you've done scales, this part should be pretty familiar to you, but if you haven't, I'll just show you anyways. So yeah, so here what you're going to do, so we have a layer here underneath, so we're going to pull here, we're going to open this part. Okay, and on the bottom as well at the same time. And now you're going to make a mountain here, here, and then here. Okay, so basically make a little square here, and then here this will be a valley here, and this will be a mountain. Okay, so it should, so you just push this part inside like that. Okay, and then you can just fold it like so. So, and if you take a look, like I think you can see it, but like this one, that is a valley, is marked as red, but that's because we're looking from the bottom. So yeah, that checks out. Okay, so like this. Okay, and you can flatten this part like so, and then do the same thing here on the bottom. Okay, and just press this down. Okay, like this. And then, so we have this flap here. Okay, so what we're going to do is open the flap and squash it. Okay, so basically you're just gonna open here and squash. Okay, so this should be easier because you already have the lines, like these lines here on the side, they are already pre-creased, so the squashing part should be a bit easier. And you have to do on both sides at the same time, obviously. Okay, like this. And then what you're going to do is fold this layer, so the right layer to the left. Okay, and we're going to close sync it. So in case you're wondering, like, so should we sync this one or should we sync this one? Like, what you can think of is, so when you turn around, so here, you want the scales to go down, like, you know that scales have a direction. So you want them to go down because this part here is the tail. So if you want them to go down on the front, you want them to go up on this direction on the back. So which means if I fold this down, if I fold this and sync it, it will be, we can see that we will have, actually I said it wrong. My trick actually, well, yeah, as you can see, I said it wrong the first one. So actually what we want is to make, just to confirm, but yeah, I think we want to open to close sync this one. Okay, so this right here, not the other one. So here. And okay, there we go. So now we can see that the scales here on the back are going up, or are going on this direction, and if you turn around, they are going down. Okay, so you have to do the same thing for the remaining flaps here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to show you like this last one because it's a bit different. So here, instead of you can just pull out the same thing, but you can just unfold this part here and also here, and then again you make here a mountain fold, and then these two mountain like that, and then this here is a valley. Okay, like that. So it's the same thing, but since this is the end of the paper, it might be a bit more confusing, but it's exactly the same thing. Okay, and then you do the same thing, like you open sync this part, you squash this part, and yeah, whatever. So what I'm gonna do now, so I'll do that off camera after. What I'm gonna do now is actually show you how you can make this, just sit down, so how you can make these precision units here that are a bit different. So so this is the front of the paper once again, okay? And here, as we can see, we have this mountain fold that goes all the way, which we are going to crease. So crease through all the layers and make sure this is well creased, like they are not, like you are not doing something like this, for example. Okay, you want them to be all together. Okay, crease this part as well. Okay, and then we're going to fold this down. This, okay, so do the same thing here on the bottom. Okay, fold this down. Make sure you crease everything, okay? Okay, so here. So what I did here on these scales here on the tail, like I divided them into steps. Like the first one was making the transition unit itself, and then the second step was like dividing the transition unit into the smaller grid. I guess that's not sure how to call it the steps, but yeah. But in this case we're gonna do both of them at the same time, okay? So basically what you're gonna do, so here on the first one, so I'm gonna open here a little bit, just on the first one, and here as well, on the bottom. Okay, I'm gonna open, and then so we can see, oh, just this one, so we can see like we have this mountain here, and then a valley, and then we have this mountain and then a valley. So this is what you're going to do. So first of all, you're going to crease the valleys. Okay, so make a valley here. Okay, and then we also have a valley here. Okay, and now I'm gonna show you here on this side. So first off, so we can see that this is valley, 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 and this is a mountain. Okay, so first off, the first thing I notice is this must be a valley, but it's marked as, or it's creased as a mountain. So I need to push this down, like so, and I need to bring this diagonal here up. Okay, and what helps me to do is actually make, so basically I'm gonna fold this mountain to the left, to the right, to make this valley here, and the same thing with this one. Okay, so I'm just gonna fold it like so. It's not gonna lie flat because we have to do the same on the other side, but yeah, you can see that now that we have like the scales part here. Okay, so we need to collapse this part. So we need to push down here as well. Push here, down. Okay, and this is a mountain. And so as we can collapse, like we can see that this starts out to join together, like making this valley here and this here. So this tip here should be on the inside. Okay, you can just push this down, and then so once you get here, you're gonna close it like this, and you're just gonna push this. So you can see that there's a valley here, which should, so this valley and this valley should align. Okay, like that, and then you can just press down. Okay, so I'm gonna show you on the other side as well. So something like this, and here's closed, and here's how it looks on the back. Okay, so let's do the same thing here on this side. I'll do it from this angle. So basically, no, actually I'm not gonna do it from this angle, it's a lot harder. So we have this mountain here and this one. So this part we need to first push out this mountain here that connects here. Okay, and this push in. Push this in, and again align, try to align these like so. Okay, if you push a finger, if you put your finger here and just push down like so, kind of goes into place. Okay, like that, and now we can close this part here as well. Like we can make this, and we can now trap like these layers here. Okay, so here as well. Okay, hopefully you understood that. I'm gonna do it one more time in case you didn't. Okay, so I'm gonna do the next one. So again, I'm unfolding here a little bit, and also here. Okay, I'm just unfolding this part. Okay, now here you have to be careful not to unfold this. Okay, and do the same thing here. Okay, so I just want to unfold this one here. So once again, we're going to make first the mountain folds, like this mountain, this mountain. So we need to do that first. These are already pre-creased, obviously, or at least I pre-creased them. I don't know if you did watch the part of me showing you how to pre-crease, but if you did, this should be pre-creased. Okay, and now I'll just make the valleys as well, so by folding this down and this one as well, like so. Okay, if you want, you can like have something hold this part here, maybe that will make it easier. Okay, so here we need to, like, I think there are two factors that really help. The first one is pushing this point down, and the other one is making this mountain and align it with this one. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to push this down, and that helps me to get this mountain out. Okay, which should connect here, and then you just need to push this inside, and once again align this valley with this one. Okay, so like so, and just close. Okay, the same thing on this side. Let me do a bit faster. So again, I'm gonna push this down and make that mountain here. And that does it. Okay, so now once again we need to make this mountain here and on the bottom as well. Okay, so and you can just press here. Okay, so now you just need to do it one more time. Okay, so you need to make here as well on this one. I'm gonna do that off camera, and we also need to do here this transition here in Sound Tile, but they are exactly the same ones that we did here. Okay, so if you don't remember how to do it, just go back and watch, because they are exactly the same thing. Okay, like you can see, they are exactly the same. So yeah, so I'm just gonna do that faster. Okay, so if you've done everything correctly, you should have something like this. So the last one is also a bit weird, but here's how it looks, like the one here on the end. Yeah, it's the same thing. So if you've done everything correctly, all the scales should go on the same direction. Okay, so yeah, and yeah, let's start collapsing. So like I said, we're gonna start here with this middle part, which is like the hardest part. I mean, it is the hardest part, but it's not hard. But yeah, we'll start here. I'm gonna zoom. So this is, again, if you're used to doing scales, this is just the same thing. I only say it's harder because there's more things you have to collapse at the same time, because like the scales, so if you look at the crease pattern, like for instance, like in terms of length, it's smaller, and that is a bad thing, because like once you start once you finish collapsing this area, yeah, like you already have to collapse this part, so you kind of have to collapse everything at the same time. And it's also a bit harder because it's more wide, which makes it a bit harder. But yeah, let's start here. Okay, so first, like, I'm holding it on this side, so the neck is here, this is the tail. So first of all, we're going to open here. We're going to open this part. It's not gonna lie flat, okay, but try to open here. And what we need to do is make, so we already have this mountain here, obviously, but let's do the same thing here on the bottom actually. So try to keep this part as flat as possible, and we're going to do, first we're going to pull out this layer like so, okay, and that will show this layer here, which you're going to make like so. So mountain here, and this should be valley, and then valley here, and this will create a mountain here, okay. This will create this mountain here, okay. And if you continue, so you see that this mountain continues all the way, so you have to unfold another layer, okay. So you have to unfold 2 at a time, okay. Unfold this one, so it continues, you have to fold yet another one, okay. So 3, and now you can crease this, okay, like so. Okay, so if you notice on the crease pattern, like with scales, you always have in one direction are full mountains, and on the other you can see that it's kind of intermediate, like mountain valley, and as you can I'm actually holding it this way, yeah, so that's why. So what we just did was this one, oops, sorry about that. So what we did was this one here and this one, and as you can see they are full mountains, okay, so the no intersection, and these ones as well, but these ones here are but this is just so all of this is just to help you collapse, because in the end it doesn't really matter which one is on top, but yeah. So we have this mountain here, and we're going to do the same thing on this side, okay. So you need to make this mountain and also this one, okay, just like that. And so now once on top we have to make the same thing again, okay. So this mountain, and we have to unfold another layer here on the center to make this mountain here, okay. And this part you try to close this part, okay. So it's a bit hard because it's not gonna lie flat now, but okay, you can try to close it like so, and do the same thing here. Okay. So again, try to close this part here like that. So one thing that we are not doing correctly is, so as you can see, this point here leads to a valley, which means that this point should actually be below, okay. And this is probably the hardest part of the hardest part, if that makes any sense to you. So what we need to do first in order to help is, so for example we can do this line here, okay. So this mountain that goes all the way, we can unfold another layer here, actually another 2 layers actually. We can unfold all of these layers actually, like so, and we can make this, okay. Try to make the valley as well, like that. And we can also make this one. Now this one here, you need to also trap this part here, okay. So like that, like you need to trap here, and that will help collapse this part later, okay, like so. make that mountain as well in here. Okay, again try to make the valley as well. Okay, so you can kind of close this part down like so. Okay, and the other thing that we'll do to help collapse this part is make this valley, this mountain fold here. Okay, so we need to make this, as you can see now it all lines up, like this valley, this mountain lines up perfectly. Okay, and the valley as well. But first we need to make this valley. Just like, don't worry about this middle part yet. Okay, and once again here try to grab all the layers very precisely. Okay, I know it's hard. Okay, so they are kind of grabbed, or they are kind of trapped already. So what we're going to do now, we need to push this down. Okay, so basically I'm just going to push it inside. Like that, okay? And I'm going to turn around. And here, what we're going to do, so we have here like this. Let me zoom a little bit more. So we have something like this. The first thing we're going to do is push this inside. Like so, and now we're going to make a valley here, just like that. And what we're going to do is fold this down on this line here, okay? So basically just fold it down. And this is why it's very important to have all these layers stuck together here, because otherwise this part is going to be a bit harder. Basically, you just fold this down. Okay, and it's not gonna lie flat again, but it should be something like this. And this part you should be able to lie flat. So here's how it looks on the other side. Okay. Like, don't worry, the first time I did this, it also took me some time to get it right. But yeah. So let's do the same thing on this part here. Okay. So yeah, once again, let me get all the mountains correctly, like this one. So this one is the one that you need to grab both layers at the same time, but let's first do this one because it might help. Okay. And then here you need to try to fold these two together, okay? Like, if you take, don't worry if you take more time doing this, okay? It's not a race. And something like that. And once again, let's now also do like this one here. That will help us, but first I need to actually close this one. So, and also this one, and now we can do this one here. Okay, so once you have that, we can once again push this down. That, turn around, and here, so we're gonna make a mountain fold here, like so, and I'm gonna push this inside. Just like that, and then fold it down. Just like that. Here's how it looks from the other side. This part should actually be this. Okay, and now if you think this is bad, you have to do this 6 more times. You have to do this here, and I mean it's a bit different actually, I'm lying, it's a bit different, but you have to do it. Let me show you the crease pattern. So we just did these ones, right? We have to do these ones yet on this side, and then these 4 on the other side. But these 4 are gonna be easier because this part will be collapsed. So yeah, now we're gonna do, like I said, these 2 here, okay? And now you can see, so we have this mountain here that we can do. So mountain here, and now we do a mountain here as well, like so. Okay, and we also do the next one, and as you can see, the next one, if we did a mountain like here, it would be wrong because this part is a valley. So we need to first fold this, one down and then make this one. Okay, so basically this one right here, first fold this one down, okay, and you can fold this part like that. And then we can now make, so now you can see that it all lines up, so we can make this mountain just like that. And we can also make this one. So we'll get to this part in a second. But yeah, so now we have these 2. Right? We also need this one right here, and this one. So this is gonna be the same exact thing, okay? Except maybe this one is a bit harder than the previous one. But to make it easier, what we're going to do is make this mountain as well, okay? So we first need to fold this down. So fold this down, and we need to, so in order to trap here this one, to make it easier, we're gonna make this mountain here. Almost. Yes. So here let's just crease this part, okay? Let's not crease all the way because we still have to make this part. See, this is what I was saying, like by the time you have this collapsed, you have to start collapsing this part, so this is why it's a bit harder, this part. But we can still do it, just take more time. So here I'm just gonna fold, not entirely, but just mark this part here, okay? And once again, I'm just gonna push this inside, okay? And I'm gonna work on it on the back. Okay, so now that we have this side done, like we can kind of know what to do here because it's exactly the same. So we're going to make a mountain here, and this one you can actually go all the way, so that might help. So just crease through all of these layers here. Make sure you don't crimp any, like I am. Okay, and we're going to do so a mountain here, and then this should be inside, and then another mountain here, okay, like so. And on the next ones the same thing, so like this. So now it's exactly the same as here, and you just fold it up like that. Okay, so just press down here, don't press on this part yet because it's not flat. Okay, so just press here, and now we can see that this part is more is on the correct spot. Now let's do the same thing on this side. It's important to do it on both sides at the same time. Well, I still have a lot of work to do here. So this one we can crease, right? So this is the first one here. And we can fold this like that. And that will help us get this one on the spot. Okay, so now we can also crease this one. Like, this is a bit hard for me, but doing it in the original paper, which is a lot bigger, like for example, I can't just grab here on the side because there's a lot more paper here, so it's a lot easier, a lot harder to do it on the real paper. But yeah. So I'm actually folding this already on the bottom, so maybe that will make it easier, like already inside instead of having to do that later. Maybe that will help. I still need to make this one to help. Okay, I guess I can go on the inside now, on the other side. So here, again, I'm gonna do a mountain here. And here, I just do the exact same thing. Okay, so just like that, and then you can just fold this down like that. I'm not gonna press too hard here because it's not part of the crease pattern. But yeah, so you should have something like this here on the back and on the front. Here's how it looks. Okay, so now we can start collapsing this middle section. Like the first one is already being collapsed, as you can see. So basically you're just gonna do a mountain fold here and there as well. So basically folding this part down. And if it helps, you can start collapsing like the upper ones at the same time. Like you can see these are all in place, like a little ladder. Not letter, ladder, yes. But yeah, that's actually pretty fun. But yeah, so this one. So in order to collapse this one, maybe it's easier if we start collapsing this here. But I don't know about that, so let me see if I can still collapse this. Okay, yeah, so I just need to press a little bit more, so, and then this one, so this one you actually do go all the way. As you can see, this one is a mountain fold all the way in, but it has this in the middle, but it's easier if you just go all the way on this one. Okay, and that one will create this mountain fold here. So let's close this like that. And let's do the same thing on the other side. Actually, it might be, as you can see, like I'm trying to collapse this part here because we can already collapse that. So let's do that. So basically here, we're just gonna do the same thing, but now you're not going to push this out or push this inside. So you're basically gonna do a mountain fold here. Okay, again, you can crease through. Wait, this is not right. Yeah, so you can crease through all of these layers here on this side as well. Okay, and here you just do the same thing, but now you don't fold it on the bottom. Okay, so you can now fold this down and fold this one. Okay, like so, and you're gonna fold these ones inside like that. Okay, if it helps, you can fold here as well. Okay, so this part is flat. So all we need to do now is this area. So this one is a mountain as well. Okay. So this part is actually a little bit different. So you can see now that it's a mountain. Okay, it's a valley, so we need to fold it down on the bottom. Okay, but as you can see, like, it's slightly different. So let me show you. So this one is also on the bottom, which is the second one that we did, and this one is also on the bottom, but it's slightly different. So as you can see, like, this is a mountain, and then this is a valley instead of being this is a mountain, yeah, instead of being valley, and here instead of being mountain is valley mountain. So it's slightly different, and the way we're going to do that, let me actually see. Okay, yeah, so yeah, it's easier if I just, so what we're going to do is like make, for example, like this mountain here that we need to do. Okay, never mind, I have a better idea. So what we're going to do is actually make it as a mountain. So basically make it as this one is exactly the same. Okay, so basically make this a mountain as well. So ignore the orientations of the crease pattern for now, and you make exactly the same thing as you did here. Okay, so this is also a mountain now, like so. Okay, like that, so you can almost close this. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Okay, you can fold this to the center, doesn't matter for now. Okay, so you can, once you've closed these ones, you can fully flatten this part here. Okay, so I'm just gonna turn on the back so it helps me make sure everything is correct. For example, this part is obviously not. Okay, so I'm gonna flatten out all of this. Awesome. We're almost done with this part. Okay, so this part, you can just close this like that if you want, so it's more pretty, or it's prettier here as well. Okay, I was just closing this part, don't know if you saw that. Yeah, so all we need to do now is reverse this part here, and for that let's turn around. And what we're going to do is, so pull out the layer here, just pull out, push this out, okay? And here you're also gonna push this, okay? Like that. So this is all going to be a mountain like that, okay? And what we're going to do is fold this. So this is a bit tricky. So we're gonna, let me hold it like this. So we're gonna fold this to the center. And as you're doing that, this will create, let me actually confirm. Yeah, so this will create, or hopefully it does, like this mountain here. And as you can see, like you have this line here, which is marked as a mountain, but it will be a valley on this side. And what you're going to do is simply just fold it like that. So mine, I was lucky enough that this part was collapsed on its own, but here's how it looks like. If you follow the orientations of the crease pattern, it should be pretty straightforward. Here's how it looks like. So basically you make this a mountain here, and you just fold it to the side, and then you make this mountain here, okay? And here you have, like here on this side, you have like this mountain here that turns into a valley, okay, like that. So do the same thing here. Let me just do it faster. Now hold it there. So it should also be, on your case, pretty straightforward to go from one to the other. Like the paper is all, the creases are already there, it's just a matter of reversing the orientation of them. Okay, so just like that. Okay, so yeah, congrats, you've done the hardest part of the chest, which was this one, like the chest, and the chest plates are also gonna be a bit tricky here, but this was the hardest part. So yeah, so good job on that. Alright, so let's now collapse this part here, the tail. So this is pretty straightforward. The first thing we're going to do is collapse the scales here, okay, and then we'll work in the connection between the two. Okay, so we're gonna pretty much do the same thing. I'm gonna hold the paper like this, but actually now we're gonna start like from this part, which may make it easier, because like this part here is the last, which is the harder. But yeah, so the first thing we're gonna do, so first of all we're gonna unfold this layer here, and we're just gonna make a mountain fold here, okay, and on the other side as well. So in order to help, you need to make this mountain fold here, okay, and this one as well, okay, like this. So now we're going to pull out a layer here. Okay, so basically just pull here and just pull one layer at a time, and now once again make this mountain fold, and do the same thing on the bottom. Oops, not this one, this one, okay, and make the valley fold as well. Okay, so basically just fold this down, just like, okay, do the same thing here. Okay, just keep doing this. So pull one more, make the mountain, so pull here as well, make this mountain, and now here you don't go all the way, so you only go here, okay, so you go here and then you make this valley, this mountain as well. Okay, so basically you fold this like so. Okay, let me do it on this side as well so you can see. Like that, so pretty simple. And pretty much you just have to do the same thing over and over. I'm still gonna do it because there are not many to do, so I'm gonna do that with you. So pull the next one, this one as well. Okay, so here you're gonna go, so the mountain fold goes here all the way, okay, and once we get to these ones, the mountain fold will go here, so we'll start to collapse this part, but not yet. So for now here you can just make this mountain like so, and then the valley, and you can fold this down. Okay, so it's very important that the layers that you trap here are correct, okay, and are not like shifted. This is a bit hard because the paper doesn't really lie flat, but you have to do your best. Okay, this one, so actually let me fix this part here, just like that. So next one, and pull this one, and once again I'm gonna make, so now we're getting to the top edge here. Okay, so I'm just gonna fold, but it's the same thing, just fold down like that. Just like that. Okay, and we need to pull just one more. Here as well. Okay, so here, once we make this valley, this mountain, we're just gonna fold, so we'll be able to flatten out this part here. Okay, like that. Okay. Okay, nice. So now, like, we have no more layers to pull here. So what we're going to do now is start from this. Okay, so basically now you're gonna make this mountain, and this mountain here will make this mountain, which will make this one. Okay, so let me show you. So first we make this mountain like so, and we can make the valley, and then that will create this mountain here, and we'll also create a mountain here for now, and also this one. Yeah, so something like that. Now do the same thing on the other side, here on the top. That's this thing. And this one. So actually, no, actually let's make this as a... no, let's make a mountain, yeah, it's better. So yeah, make this a mountain. And here, so ignore, once again, ignore this the orientations here, because this part is going to be pretty much the same as this one, which is the weird one, but for now we'll just make it on top. Okay, and don't worry if you unfold, so if you push this out a little bit, we'll fix that later. So you're gonna make a mountain here as well, like so, and a mountain here, and you just make something like this. So it's pretty much the same thing that we did. Okay, like so. So do the same thing here. Okay. So what we, so now we have also to make this one, but as you can see, to make this one we have to first do this one like that, and then now we can see the mountain here. Okay, like so. Okay, and do the same thing with this side here. So first we make this one here. Okay, and then we can fold down this part. Let me fix this a little bit here. Okay, and you can actually fold this, so this part we'll have to fix from the bottom, these two parts here. I'm just trying to get everything else into shape. But yeah, I think that's good enough for now. So now, once again, we're going to push this down, okay? And we're going to make a mountain here on this line. So push down, like that. So let me turn around. And here we're going to do the same thing that we did with this one, okay? So basically we're going to make a mountain here, like so. And then we're going to fold towards the center, and we'll create like this line here. Let me zoom a little bit more. So we'll create this mountain here and the valley right next to it, like so. And here, so you should push this, so we need to make this mountain here. So this one needs to be here, a mountain. So I'm just using a pencil on the other side to push this out. Okay, like so. And you need to actually, let me just do something here. Okay. Okay, just like that. Okay. Here's how it looks on this side. So do the same thing here. So again, just push this down, make this mountain here, and turn around. And here, just make this mountain. So, and then fold this to the center. Make the mountain, this one in the valley, and here I need to push that. Push that. I don't know if you can see it. Okay. Okay. Okay, awesome. So all the scales, so the scales here from the tail are done. we just press down here. So all we need now to do is collapse here this part, and all of this bottom part will be able to lie flat. Okay, so this is pretty easy. So the first thing we're going to do, so we see that there's a big mountain here all the way down. So we're going to make that mountain, and also on the other side. So we're going to make this mountain here, and then like the goal of this is to fold this over the scale. So basically we have a mountain here and we have a valley. So we're gonna basically fold all of this in half and do a mountain here, like that. Okay, so we're also here, we're gonna make, so we have this mountain and this one and the valley, so we're gonna join these two together here as well. So basically this mountain. And here, okay, so now here what you're going to do is basically, so we have this mountain and this is a valley, which means that you should join these two together like so. So you need to push this on the inside of the paper. Okay, so I'm pushing this here, and the goal is to bring this point to that one. Okay, like so. Okay, and then you can just fold this like so. So make sure you grab both layers at the same time. Okay, and then here on this part you're just gonna make a valley here, and you're gonna fold like so. Okay, and you're just gonna put that here inside this. Okay, just like that. Okay, so now do the same thing here. So basically I need to pull that inside, fold it like so. Here you do this. This may be a bit hard, and especially if you have a bigger paper. Like I remember that in mine I had to smoosh in this paper, this part a little bit. Okay. So you should be able to close this like that. Okay, so and then we just need to do a valley here, so basically just fold this down through all the layers. Okay, so here's how it looks, like the paper is all wrapped underneath there. And yeah, that, so also we need to just fold this part inside here like that. Okay, awesome. So this is the tail here, the tail goes on, the chest, and then all we need to do now is the neck and the connection. So the chest plates here, and like the connection between the chest and the neck scales. Okay guys, so last part we need to collapse is here, or at least this part here, and then we need to make this connection here. But let's first focus here on the neck scales. And by the way, like I mentioned before, like this part here, let me show you. So this part here is slightly different. So this part, and I added this crease here, which is not part of the crease pattern. As you can see, like there's a blank here, but in mine there isn't. but do not worry, because I've already tested to see if this actually makes this part collapsible, and it does. Like the reason I didn't add this one is because I actually couldn't find a way to collapse like this part like it is here. So I just found this workaround that I think it is basically the same thing. Okay. So yeah, so here on the scales it's exactly the same thing. Okay, so we're gonna start here on one side and we're gonna pull this, and so we're gonna make a mountain here like that, and we can also make this mountain here, and then just keep pulling. So this is pretty much the same thing that we have been doing. So no, there's actually not very much that's different here. So yeah, I'll just do this. I'll be a bit faster. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll get this part flat and then I'll just do the rest off camera. So yeah, let's do the same thing here on the other side. So I'm just gonna close this like so, so I have more room. Okay, that's not that well, but yeah. So pull another one here, and here you're actually gonna have to, so here we're gonna have to trap like this layer here, like so. Okay, so pretty much the same thing. So I'm gonna have to close this like that and make this mountain here, so that will help us collapse this part. Okay, do the same thing on this side. So we need to close this off first. That, and then we can make the mountain. Okay, let me see. So yeah, let's do one more actually. So let's here open one more. This one, and this one goes here. Okay, so we can fold this down pretty much like that. Okay, so this part, try to also fold it down. Let's see what else. I want to see if I can, yeah, let's try to do this part here. So this part is the same as this one, so it's the weird one. So let's go here and let's push this up like that, so making a mountain fold here and here as well. So this mountain fold. Okay, and then we're gonna fold this to the center. Okay, and as we do that, we're gonna make, so we're gonna create this, and not this one actually, but this one Wait, let me fold this a little bit more, and we're gonna make, wait a second. Oh yeah, this part, what? Okay, so it's not 100% right, because yeah, let's unfold that a bit actually, because I need to add one more. Yeah, sorry about that. Let's do another thing. So what we're going to do is actually fold this first to the center on this here. Okay, so but for that we need to fold this one first. So let's do that. So we need to fold like this mountain here. Sorry about that confusion. I don't know what the hell I was doing actually. Like, I've done this a lot of times and I don't know why I did it different this time. Okay, but pretty much let's just fold this. Actually, we can't fold this. Oh my god. Okay, never mind, I was being dumb. Oh my god, okay. Sorry about that. So yeah, we're gonna push this inside. Okay. Like I was thinking wrong. So this is not the same as this one. It's the same as this one. Okay, so I was doing it wrong. That's why it was not working. So yeah, so we have to make these mountains here. And you need to push this down. Like so, yeah, that's a lot easier now. Don't know why I was doing that. So it's like this, and you can just fold this down. Okay, there we go. Here's how it looks. Okay, yeah, that's a lot better. Let's do the same thing here. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this mountain. This, and I'm just gonna fold this down. Okay, awesome. Okay, so this part here is flat now, so we just keep on doing so. I'll just do a couple more and then I'll just skip. I'll just do the rest off camera because it's pretty much the same. Okay. So this one, and then this one you're gonna connect here. Fold this down like so. And fold this. Okay, let's just do one more. Okay, now connect here, fold this down, open here on the other side, and fold this down. Okay, so you pretty much just keep doing this until you reach the end here, and this part should all lie flat. Then we only need to do the here, which is the last part. So yeah, so I'll just do that off camera. Okay, so once you're done, you should have something like this. Okay, so we're almost done. This is the only part remaining, and this is gonna be a bit not tricky, but because like we have all the lines here, but a bit messy because you have to collapse all at the same time. But let's start here. Okay, so here first of all we need to, so we have like these mountains here, like we see these are mountains, so they need to be mountains, and these need to be valleys. They need to be valleys, sorry, and these need to be mountains here. Okay, and here what we are going to do So we have here like all the indications. So basically we need to make, it's like we have this square here. Let me zoom a little bit more. Cool. There we go. So we need to make like this square here, and you need to make all mountains like so, but this needs to be down. Okay. Make something like this. Okay, and here as well. Like the objective is to fold this down on this. Okay, so that's the end goal. So we'll go there with baby steps, don't worry. Let's see here, so we do need to make like this valley, so all of this should be valley, and we kind of need to do this, the two sides at the same time, so that's why it's a bit tricky. All this should be valley. Honestly, I'm just following the indications on the grease pattern about what's valley and what's mountain. Okay, so this is a valley. So this is a mountain here. We can grease these two mountains here. Okay, that will help. Okay, and this should be valley. Okay. So we need to fold this. And we need to fold this as a valley as well. Okay, so this part here, so this square is how it looks like. So it's pretty similar to a precision unit without having to then divide it, but yeah, so you're just gonna close it like that, and you just fold this like so. Okay, do the same thing here. You make this a mountain, and then you can make this, fold this up, okay, like that, and this part here is more almost there. Okay, but first we need to, so this should be a mountain here, like through these both layers, so like that, here as well. Okay, here what we're going to, so we have mountain, valley, so we need to close this off like that, and then here we have this valley, and this should be mountain here. Oh, okay, so we have a mountain there we need to grease, you can see, so we need to do that one, so it's like that, and we need to push this in, yeah, like so, and then this mountain here, and actually we need to make this under there, so basically you're just gonna push that inside there. It's a bit weird, but this is how it looks. Like this is how it looks on the back. Maybe on the back it's easier to do. Okay, so it's just like that. And here you just fold, so you just push this down like that, and then you just make this mountain here, and you can fully collapse this part here. Okay. Just like that. Now do the same thing with this one. So we have push this out here, and then we have to push this in. Here we have to make that go inside. Again, it's easier if I do it from the back, I think. That. Here we do this, so we close this as well. And then we just need to fold this down, so we need to make a mountain here and valley there, and they should all line up. So this part here inside, make sure everything is right there, but you should be able to flatten this part. Okay, so here these corners, just fold them in. This one. And honestly, that's it. So here, as you can see, like this doesn't really line up. These two should be together. You can kind of try to force them, but the reason for that is because usually scales tend to stretch the paper. So as you can see here, like where the middle scales are, like the paper doesn't connect, and that is normal. So it's very hard for scale. And what I mean stretch is, so if you leave like 0 gaps in between the divisions or each scale, then this wouldn't happen. But that's very, very hard to do. It would have to be like perfect scales, and that is a bit hard to do. But yeah, so this is the chest. Okay, so we have the chest plates here. Like what I did in mine was kind of, I don't remember how I did it, but I know that I folded this inside. Maybe I just pulled this out and fold it a bit underneath, so it's a bit more overall round. Actually, my chest was done a bit differently, I'll be honest, but I don't think it does really matter. I think this is the one that's correct. Mine was a bit different around here on this part, but that doesn't really matter. But yeah guys, so I think I'm still gonna do one more tutorial of this with on the neck part. So this connection here, this part here is pretty simple, but I think I'll do it just because yeah, and I think other than that there's not really much more that I can show you. Like the other part that's not really like 100% straightforward is maybe here the tail, but honestly it's super simple. Like if you're used to scales, this is as simple as it can be. So yeah, I think after the neck there should be no more tutorials on this one, on this Zoanoid dragon, unless you really want another one. But yeah guys, so hopefully you have now a test fold, or even better, you have your own Zoanoid dragon with the chest collapsed. And yeah guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.